Yes. And the relationship should be convenient. It should cause a convenience. It should be conducive to you. It should be again suitable. And so if it's causing an inconvenience and it's causing chaos and stress, and a lot of times that's saying right there immediately out the door, okay, that it's not suitable, right? That's not going to agree with you on the journey that you're on. And so that's kind of what I got. That's not going to enhance you.
You already know what time it is. It's B. We here today with ICU. We are live. I want to thank you all for tuning in. Give all praises to our Heavenly Father and our King for this opportunity to share what we got for y'all tonight. You know, that's real. You know what? We ain't never told them what ICU mean.
We have it.
What ICU mean? What's your take on ICU?
So ICU means intensive care unit, right? And so that's where we come to care, right, for our relationship, where we set our intent, where we set, the care, and we also unify. So we just kind of showing individuals in relationships how to, get an ICU to your mate.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Convalescence healing. That's one of them. That's one of them. And then we also have inspirational care unit. We want to inspire couples to live in love and to grow in light and life. So we got twofold. It's the intensive care unit and it's the inspirational care unit. And that's what we want to give one another, to ourselves, and to share with you all on this journey, this beautiful journey of life. And relationships are really, we'll get into what relationships really should do for us, how they should really. I was talking with a brother picking up the order, what I mean? And it's so much. But relationships should bring the best out of us. They shouldn't bring the worst out of us. So we'll talk about that a little bit. This is the third episode, fourth episode it's the fourth episode. And just on four, on that four, that squared up. We squared up tonight, you know what I mean? But this is just the beginning of our journey, and this episode is the end of our relationship reason and rhyme series. So we're excited to have presented that. The first one, of course, was reason and rhyme. You remember the second one? What it was called? I'm putting it all on blast. The second one we did was purpose and purpose and oh my goodness, now I'm drawing a blank. Purpose and chemistry.
Oh yeah.
The second one was vision and compatibility. And tonight we're doing what is it? Suitability and affinity.
Yeah,
Suitability and affinity. Yeah, so we're excited to present tonight's final relationship reason and rhyme series to you all, And I want to say this before we begin. I got something to say about this woman, I don't know. What's up, mama? My mama up in here tonight. Another guest, peace and power. But this is what our 10th month going into our 9th month going into our 10th month. And I can honestly say this has been the best 10 months, 10 months in a relationship that I've ever experienced, period. It's been smooth sailing, really, for the most part. We've had some moments, but it's been a powerful, deep water experience, as you say, right? It's been deep waters. It really has, and I'm just thankful for the experience and all that good stuff. So yeah.
I concur.
Thank you. No doubt. Y'all ain't getting no lips on this though. So again, tonight, suitability and affinity. And so we got some definitions. You know, we're both nerds, so we like to get into what words mean. And so let's go ahead and take turns again, and then just give your reflection on what that term means on suitability.
Okay. To be suitability, to be convenient for or acceptable to, adapt or make appropriate for something or someone, go well with or enhance the features, figure, or character of someone. I didn't see that.
Explain.
Yeah, or to correspond or the pattern of agreeable, right or appropriate for a particular person, purpose, or situation. In Hebrew, it's azar.
Great.
To gird, defend, surround, protect, aid. To be helped or helped. Support.
Right. Right. What stands out to you?
Man, enhance. It really made me think too of my girl. And I'm gonna say my girl, I can't even think of her name right now. But can you add to me? What's that sister name?
I know you're talking
It's on the tip of my tongue. But you know, so we should be able to enhance our mate. Just put add to me. Oh, you got it. So we should be able to enhance our mate, right?
Yes.
And yes, and the relationship should be convenient. It should cause a convenience. It should be conducive to you. It should be, again, suitable. And so if it's causing an inconvenience and it's causing chaos and stress, and a lot of times that's saying right there immediately out the door, okay, that it's not suitable, right? That's not going to agree with you on the journey that you're on. And so that's kind of what I got. That's not going to enhance you.
Right. Ooh, yeah, enhancement is so important.
What you get?
It's so much. You know, suitability for me is like you think of clothes. You know, a lot of times you see people with these new styles, they wear clothes that are too tight. You got these skinny jeans, they're looking silly in these skinny jeans. You got clothes that are too big. I used to wear baggy clothes, you know, when I was growing up the hip hop era. But they didn't fit me right. They didn't fit. You know, a lot of times we find ourselves, and I have even found myself in relationships that don't fit. And Johnny Cochran said it best: if it don't fit, you must quit. And so relationships should be one that fits you. It should be one that does allow you to have enhancements. It should allow you to, you know, experience convenience. It shouldn't be difficult. You shouldn't have to like wrestle and fight to get understanding and respect and love. Sure. It should be a suitable relationship where you got 100. You know, and you add that with the chemistry. Like, dang, we got a great connection. You know, our connection is dope. It's compatible. Our values line up. Our goals line up. You know what I'm saying? And now it's like we're building on that. And now it's a suitable relationship where everything now is allowing us ultimately to grow as individuals and as a couple. You know what I'm saying? So our relationships really, this is what I was talking with the brother picking up the order, should be alchemical. And I mean by the alchemical relationship is that it should have us go from a base substance to a sublime substance. We should be able to go from basic to advanced, right? We should go from training wheels to sprint, you know, and being able to do all that in a relationship. So that's what suitability is to me. It's like it allows for us to fit.
Making me think of like tailor-made. You gonna get a suit, you know, good. It's tailor-made, it fits you just right. It's not gonna be out your arms. It's not gonna be too short. It's gonna come where you need it, and that's like what a relationship is like when it's suitable.
Truly so. Fit, like truly so. Truly so. You know, Genesis chapter 2, and I believe this is just verse 20. It says, Yah Elohim said, it is not good for the man to be alone. I'm going to make a helper for him as his counterpart, right? So helper is someone that is suitable for you, right? Someone that they call, or someone that you call is meet for you, right? In the book of, I believe it is Amos, it talks, how shall two walk together if they don't agree? Your relationship should be agreeable, right? So this is a powerful part of finding a sustainable relationship. You know, again, a lot of people are jumping into relationships without taking a full assessment of who and what they are as individuals, and then the individual that they're partnering with. But they just, we got great chemistry. Okay, that's good. That's good. What's the compatibility like? What's the suitability like? And how does that all come together? Yeah. Any thoughts from Genesis for you?
No, it was interesting that there was a verse when I was reading earlier, because when I was reading Suitability, I was thinking Genesis about how the Most High matched the rib, took the rib, right? But that suitability from that fit, from that rib, he created, that fit to that man. And he's like, oh, she came from my rib, I'm gonna call her woman. But it was just that fit, because I don't know.
No, that makes sense. I mean, when he realized who she was, it was like, that's me.
Yeah.
She's me. I'm her. And that's one thing that we picked out with each other. It's like we get each other. Our birthdays are, a few days apart, 10 days apart. We got some years between us, but she's older than me.
Yeah.
But we got, that Cancer energy that allows for us to know how to respond to each other, because, we're both this little boy. We're both what's the word? Moonchild children. We're water signs. So we have some phases that we go through. We got highs and lows, ebbs and flows. But fortunately for me, in my seasoning, I've learned how to deal with myself and my emotional, at times, instability, which allows for me to deal with Z.
When I'm being unstable.
Right. This little boy. I know, it's 7-Eleven. I got my son calling me in this live. I have to excuse me. Can't join, big guy. I'm sorry.
Oh, he was trying to join that live?
He's trying to join this. He was FaceTiming me. And so, yeah, one thing that's so interesting, is powerful, is this word help me, this word counterpart. In the Hebrew, it's azar. And in the Greek, in the New Testament, it's paraclete, right? It's an advocate. It's the helper as well. This is what the Messiah calls for when he goes away. So in John 14, this is verses 15 through 17 and then 26. This is what Yahushua says to his disciples in understanding the mindset of being alone. Because solitude is one thing, but being alone is an entirely different thing, right? But it says, if you love me, you shall guard my commands. And I shall ask the Father, and he shall give you another helper. That's that word there that is the same as in role of what Hawa or Eve was to Adam in that helpmate role. The Holy Spirit is the same thing. So our spouse should be like the Holy Spirit. So they should be able to sense everything that we're going. They should be able to feel and respond to our needs, to our even our desires, and be able to meet that. Continuing. But this helper that is going to be given to us will stay with us forever. And that's the bond of marriage, right? Till death do you part. Till life do you live. The spirit of the truth. That's another element. You should be in a truthful relationship, right? You don't want to be in a relationship that's full of deception and lies. That's not healthy. Whom the world is unable to receive. And that's a whole nother story. Like, no one else should be able to receive the covenant. This is your covenant, right? Especially if they're not of the covenant, right? What I mean by that is that there's an exclusive covenant, yes, but that exclusive covenant is also a part of a kingdom covenant, because the family, again, is the foundation of the kingdom, right? because it does not see him or know him, and does not know this helper, the Spirit. But you know him, for he stays with you and shall be in you. The helper, the set apart Spirit, whom the Father shall send in my name, he shall teach you all and remind you of all that I said to you. And this is what that relationship does. It helps you learn all. It reminds you of things. It encourages you, upholds you. It
confirms you.
It confirms you. And convicts you. We talked about this last night. It confirms you and convicts you for your conversion, so that you are transformed, so that you are made new. So every day you're supposed to be made new. This is what the relationship should do. This is how you should engage your relationship. Your relationship should be renewed every day, right? You should approach your spouse like you just met them every day, but even though you know them, but it's like it's a refreshing, it's a renewal every day. So that's powerful. Keep it fresh, brothers. You know what I mean? Like 100. 100. And so that's what suitability does for you. On to affinity. So what's that phrase you got? I like that phrase you got about affinity, what it does. Affinity creates what? You remember? It rhymes with it's the same. Affinity creates infinity. You remember you said that?
I'm like, you know, babe, we be going off into the deep water for real.
Yeah. You said that one time. You was like, affinity creates infinity. We looked at the symbol for infinity and how it just, you know, it's that cycle. You create cycles and patterns. And that's what you should do in relationship. Even though it's renewed every day, you have to create cycles and patterns. Patterns are so important to establish. You just look at the seasons. But every day is a new day, but it's still a part of a season. And that season is renewed. Every day is renewed, but it follows order. That's what patterns are. That's good. So affinity means to have inherent likeness or agreement, to have close resemblance or connection. It is of or relating to persons who share the same interests. It is of or relating to, oh, I got that same part. So biologically speaking, affinity is the phylogenetic relationship between two organisms or groups of organisms, resulting in a resemblance in general plan or structure, or in the essential structural parts. And I looked up that word phylogenetic. It means that it's like descendant of. It's related by blood. Okay, it's a connection there. And then we have the Hebrew word for affinity, which is achad, which is actually one, but to unite, to join oneself together, to collect oneself, to ravage with united powers. Ooh-wee. To ravage with united powers, right? That means you're just being consumed in this oneness, in a good way, though, in a positive, like edifying and cleansing way. To be in accordance with the laws of parallelism, to attend and to walk in agreement, step by step. That is what affinity is. What's your thoughts about that, man? What you think?
Downloading, actually. I was reading something the other day, and it was talking about like the heart chakra. And your heart chakra will resonate with your mate, but you know, we resonate with others on a different level, right? Like we meet somebody and we like feel like we've been knowing them our whole life and all that because that affinity is there. So when you meet your spouse, you all will vibrate like instantaneously on that heart level, right? There will be some synchronicity there. There will be some receptivity, even reciprocity, right? You're going to have a very
corresponding experience.
There you go.
It corresponds. It's just like, wow, you felt that too? You had that too?
Like, no question. And it's just like, it's absolute. It's like an absolute like truth. Like when you know absolute truth, you know that like it doesn't change, right?
Right.
And so
we experienced that.
Oh yeah. You remember like we experienced it way before and yeah.
Like, I was remember just sharing some things with her She's like, was you in my dream? You must have been there. How you know my dream? How you know all that? I'm like, I'm just telling you what I felt. And this was a time that I was meditating like really heavy.
Yeah.
I was heavy on meditation. I'm getting back in, but oh my God, I was just so clear, you know. And we still are clear, but this was a time when this is when y'all was just preparing me. Y'all was like, I got something for you. I got something for you. I got someone for you. I'm like, I don't know what's going on, but I felt it. That's what's so crazy. I did feel it. I felt it. You know what I mean? I was feeling like there's something coming around this corner that is about to be like life changing. Hey, look, there you is right there. But no doubt, this is powerful because affinity allows for you to have that oneness. This is what the scriptures really, again, intend for man and woman. And it also intends for heaven and earth. And it also intends for king and citizens, right? So you want to read this verse here? Genesis 2:24 and 25.
For this cause a man shall leave his father and mother and cleave to his wife, and they shall become one flesh. And they were both naked, the man and his wife, yet they were not ashamed.
That's that oneness right there. That's the rib and the flesh and the bone of his bone. And this is what allows for man and woman to walk in agreement, is because this one flesh, which is not something that is just boom, done. No, this is a journey. This is a process. This is a becoming. But it's also related to us cleaving to one another. You know what I'm saying? And that is about, you know, being able to stick together through thick and thin, right?
It's a becoming, and it's also a knowing. That's what I just heard. Like, it's a knowing. You're going to know. Like, there's not, and I don't want to say there's not going to be no doubt, because if you kind of have like fear, like I did, it's fear, you know, you're going to have some type of dissonance, right? But you're still underneath all of that. You're going to know.
Right. Right.
So that was it.
That's great. That's great. And then, you know, just presenting yourselves to each other. This is who I am. And we've talked about that before. This is what I've come through. This is what I've been through. This is what I've done, you know. And so in those challenges, in those, I won't even call them challenges, in those communications, you present your challenges so that the individual has a choice to say, okay, that's something I can deal with or something I can't deal with. And that creates more affinity. When you're transparent, translucent, when you're translucent and you, excuse me, allow for your light and your darkness to be seen, that allows for your mate, your spouse, to really appreciate you, or to be like, you know, that's something I can't deal with. But it's either going to build you up or it's going to, you know, allow you to stay single and one.
And I think something else that helps create our like affinity, and we were consistent. We're not where we are consistent. So like from day one, even before we knew, like we have not separated. Honestly, it's not being that's funny, not funny, but like it was a consistency though. Like affinity will create an automatic consistency, right? You know, you sometimes see people in relationships or like try to get into relationships and they're not consistent, right? So that affinity wavers. Your affinity isn't going to waver, I think.
So moving to our last verse here, this is from Ephesians 5:30-33. It says, for this cause a man shall leave his father and mother and be joined to his wife, and the two shall become one flesh. This secret is great, but I speak concerning the Messiah and the assembly. However, you too, everyone, let each one love his own wife as himself, and let the wife see that she respects her husband. Now, this is where suitability really becomes important, because this defines how the man is to engage his wife and how the wife is to engage her husband. Because it for women respond to love, right? To love. We love the woman as we love ourselves. We cover her, we clothe her, we cleanse her, right? And we care for her. That's what's needed for women. Men need respect. And this gives us that correspondence and creates that affinity, that bond, that nuclear bond that it becomes inseparable. And this is how it's created. And this all is reflective ultimately of the assembly, the body of the Messiah with the head over us as the Messiah's kingship, as his rulership governs us. And the man has to be subject to that kingship of the Messiah for this woman to truly be in order and for her to fulfill her purpose with vision, right? And affinity.
Really quick, I was reminded, this sister shared some stuff with me about her marriage, right? I'm really respectful of her spouse. And I listened to her and I could tell that she didn't know how to respect, right? And I was just like, so I listened and she was just in my heart. I prayed, right? I was, just covering because I'm like, she really needs to learn like how to respect. Now, granted, I didn't been where I've been. Utterly disrespectful, right? So I could relate, right? But I'm like, I also felt her as a wife, and I see myself, right, as such, and so anyway, on down, covering her, we ended up talking, and it was just this complete change. But she took responsibility, you know what I mean, and noticed that I'm not respecting my mate. So if I want him to love me, if I want him to do the things that I need as a wife, like first and foremost, I have to respect him. And her disrespect, like it's something that we get kind of, I'm gonna say, entitled to as women, because we hold no punchlines when it comes to disrespecting our men, our mates. And we get ruthless, like where we demasculate the man. And I'm just hearing this in her conversation that we were having. And so my prayer was just like that she builds herself up. So it was just beautiful to hear her testimony and to just see that transition. But she had to reflect with herself and take responsibility, as a woman. So it was just beautiful. And so I say that to say, but her independence created that, right? And ladies, if we want to continue in our independence, then it's going to cause a conflict. And I'm not saying don't have any independence, because most times, no, I am independent. But when your independence create disrespect to your mate, it's a problem, And so we have to be intentional on kind of relinquishing our independence to a point to where it's causing disrespect. Right. That's what I love.
Interdependence. But that's what society feeds on, this division of the family, right? They're giving everything but, nurturance for the family. They're encouraging infidelity. They're encouraging disrespect. They're encouraging no love. Love is like, what? Love, you soft, you whack. You know what I'm saying? That's whack. That's what simps do. Simps love. No love for these hoes. You hear people saying this type stuff. Yes, very much so. And people getting paid for it. That's something that Kanye's talking about that people don't want to address, and how it's contributing to the genocide of the melanated family, right? But that's powerful. That's a deep reflection. Brothers, we got to learn to love. We got to learn to be lions, but also we got to learn to be lambs. We can't be hard all the time. We can't be hard all the time. This is a very soft creature. The woman is a gentle, and she's supposed to be gentle and feminine. There's a feminine side that we got to learn to allow them to bring out, as opposed to have them always defensive and masculine. We don't want them to emasculate us, and we don't want to masculize them. If that's the word there, masculine.
Come on,
boom, bow, bam, what?
Affinity, it allows, right, you to operate your femininity or your masculinity. And like us creating that, like, and I think that was something that we talked about.
No doubt.
You know,
Yeah.
because like I think I was kind of tense at first in operating in that femininity, but I was also okay with relinquishing it. You know what I mean? Like, okay,
this it's not true. It's not natural. It's really not natural. I mean, we learn to take on these defense mechanisms, right? As opposed to really shed them when we know that they don't serve us. And that's what we have to do. We got to learn to shed everything that no longer serves us. And that's what the relationship is for. The relationship is to create an environment where an individual can explore themselves to find their true core. That's what a relationship for. That's the alchemy of a relationship. It allows you to transform and to become who the creator created you to be. Yep. For the kingdom. For the kingdom. You got some questions down there. What's some of them questions that some people should think about that, you know, deals with this whole series? Like, what kind of questions do you got down there?
Is your spouse or the one you are seeking to date acceptable and agreeable according not to just you, but to Torah? Right? And so if you're seeking to have a Yah-based, God-based, whatever your higher power is based relationship, it has to apply, you know, be applicable to the word. It needs to line up. And so when I'm not going to answer that for y'all, but I'm just
there. That's a good question.
And the next one says, do you and your spouse resemble each other in belief, heart, goals, purpose, etc.? Right. So I think that's something that we should be asking ourselves, you know, even before we choose to date, right? Because you can engage in a conversation, you can build rapport and whatnot, but before you hit that, yes, we're official to date, you know, like ask yourself, do you have some of these resemblances? Do you and that individual have some of those?
Do you see yourself in that person? Do you see them in you?
Can you bite the apple? Can you take a bite of their apple? And can they take a bite of yours?
Digest it.
Oh yeah. Yeah. You can take a bite and spit it out. Huh?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I just want to bite it.
Suitability and affinity will have a natural rhythm and harmony to it. It will have organic synchronicity. Synchronicity. Yeah, I know. Synchronicity. But yeah, that's when I was going over and reading. I'm like, wow, like it'll have a natural rhythm. And it made me think about how in sync we were, not even trying to be.
And not even knowing each other. Like
Right.
That's what drew us together. Like, I just know her, you know. We identified with a lot of things, you know. There were some things she was seeking that, you know, Yah planted in me. There were some things that I was in need of that Yah planted in her. And it just allowed for us to really develop, you know, harmonize organically. Our chemistry was good, our compatibility was there, and then she fit. I fit too, so hand in glove, peas and pies. You already know. You already know. But man, this has been exciting. I hope that what we've presented in these past 4 weeks have been edifying to you all, have been challenging, have been stimulating, have been insightful, you know, because we've grown from this ourselves. You know, we are making sure that, you know, we're first and foremost living what we're talking about. You know, we're challenging ourselves, we're pushing ourselves, we're growing. We will have some services available for you all. You can check it out, our Facebook page. We have an actual page, BandZ ICU. We have a YouTube page, BandZ. That's a BandZ, one word, but ICU is separate. So BandZ, then ICU. So check us out there. That's pretty much all of our social media handles. So you can check us out on those things. Subscribe to our YouTube page, where you can catch this in review if you didn't see it live. We got some shorts that we have put on there as well. You can go and check out just to get some quick, you know, edification, some quick
We
inspiration.
know y'all be on YouTube. Everybody on YouTube.
Right.
Like everybody got a game on their phone. This little boy said you got a game on your phone.
So subscribe and please share. You know, we would definitely appreciate that. And if you feel like you want to make some donations to our ministry, you can do that at Cash App, # BandZ ICU. You know, you can definitely support us that way as well, and we will definitely, you know, use these resources to improve our services. We're gonna have some merch coming out. We're gonna have a lot of things. But again, Z got her own podcast, so check her out this Thursday. It's gonna be some heat. She done look, she done put some things in the clip for this one, boy. I'm telling you. She about to put some things in the clip. It's gonna be like ta-ta-ta-ta-ta. And so check her out 7 p.m. Thursday on Z Royal, She Royal. And she's gonna have some stuff there. I'll be on Shifting Paradigms this upcoming Monday from 6 to 7. So we both doing our thing as well as individuals and collectively. So we're excited. Want to thank everybody for tuning in. What's your last words, baby?
Thank y'all.
We holla.
That's it. Love y'all. Peace, love, light.
Shalom, shalom.
She was in the broadcast.
In the broadcast. That's why I try to get her out. In, my friend. Let me stop. I'm recording. Stop.